Alright, welcome to the part number 4 of making sounds with the Cobalt 8. Says this is how it's going to go. First, I'm going to show you the final result, and then we are going to break it down and do it. So this is the part number 4. I already made the part 1, 2, and 3. You can check them out if you want. You have the cards, or you have them on the description. Remember, everything is timelined, so you can jump sections. And if you like what I do and you like all of this, remember to like and subscribe. And if you have the money and you want to buy me a coffee, you can. So just go to the links at the description. Okay, so let's break down the first patch. Now, we are going to do 3. First is the keys, which is the one we're going to do right now. And then we're going to do 2 different paths. This one is going to be rather simple in terms of modulations, but the other ones we're going to do a lot of mod slots. Right, so always starting from initial patch, make sure that you are starting on initial patch. And I'm going to go all the way to the oscillator number 1. And we are going to find the Winamp Sync. That's the one I want to use. Let's see if we can find it. We have a lot. There we go. That's the one I want. And it's going to sound like that. Now, the first one is going to be the sync, and this one is going to be the wind shape. But first, I'm going to be adjusting the tune. And I'm going to do 12 up, which is going to be an octave. Right, I'm going to get out of the shift. And now I'm going to be turning this knob until it sounds cool. Now, we are making some keys, so I want some of that. Right, you can change the wind shape to your liking. We get more bite. I'm going to keep it down there. Now, let's go to the other side, to the oscillator number 2. And on this one, I'm going to do an RM square. First, again, like always, I need to find it. Almost there. There we go, RM square, and it's gonna sound broken. Now, right here we have the coarse and the fine. So I'm gonna go all the way to the fine because I know that I'm gonna start there, and I'm gonna start to move the A2 until it feels nice. I'm gonna like it right there. It's very stable, of course. Alright, so I'm going to do shift and offset this one. It doesn't really matter because they are super different. But maybe it doesn't matter. But just I'm going to do a little bit, maybe 5 or 3. Now, when we go to shift and we go right there at the middle, we are going to be getting a blend of both. Cool. I'm going to do more of this one and less of the 2. Let's see how much we are doing. You know what? I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it right there, right in the middle. Right. What else can we do? Well, we can do the drift. I'm going to go to the drift and go up on the drift around 19 to have something. Right. I'm going to hold the patch, go to the mix and do the vintage. And the vintage is going to be around 20. Right. I'm going to keep it on poly, and remember we can make it wide, so I'm going to do shift and use the width that we have right here. Maybe I'm going to go up to 80 so we can have some spread. If I do some keys, some chords, it's going to sound a little bit better. Now, this will sound a little bit better when we add effects. Right now it's just like super dull. But for now, this is like, you know, the beginning. It's fine. Now, I want to go to the oscillators. Let me just find it right here. Oscillators. I'm going to go down and I'm going to go to the free run and I'm going to turn this one on. Now, let's take care of the filter. Of course, we are not going to be able to hear it because we need to adjust the envelope. But first, I'm going to be finding the one I want. I want an 18. I like keys, not with a ladder to, you know, a filter, not too aggressive, like 24. I like, you know, 18, 12, and, you know, something that's not super aggressive. So I'm going to go ladder and then 18. And in terms of cutoff, let's do something around there. All right, let's see how much we are doing. We are doing that. I'm going to do less because then we're going to open the filter with the envelope. Now, I know I want a little bit of resonance and I want a little bit. Now, this is pretty aggressive on the resonance, so I'm going to do around there. And I'm going to be doing some drive. Later, we can change it. But now we need to take care of the envelope and see how this sounds. Okay, so I'm going to be going to the FEG, the depth, all the way up. I'm going to go up there on the FEG. Now, the thing is that these are keys. So as soon as we do it, this will just react, and I want release. So I'm going to do it from here so you can see how much I'm doing. Attack, we are doing nothing. Decay, nothing, because the sustain is all the way up, and I'm going to keep it there. But I want a lot, and I mean a lot more release. I'm going to do 86, so we're going to have something like... Now, the thing is that we need to do something on the amp. Now, I'm going to go to the amp, and the amp is going to be pretty simple, but I don't want super sustained keys. I want a little bit less on the amp, actually a lot less. I'm going to go sustain all the way down, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of that. Now, I'm going to change this, and let's see how much we are doing. The attack is going to be 4, that's fine. I'm going to leave the decay 2. I'm going to go a little bit more, around 50 something. Some sustain is going to be 0. And just like the other one, we want to add a release. And I want to be very aggressive with this. So, all right, there we go. Let's see. And again, it just sounds like keys. All right, so for now, it sounds cool. Now, what I want to do, I want to go to the AEG. We are already there. I'm going to change it to linear, and the other one as well. I'm going to be changing this to linear. There you go. Much better. Well, I like it more for keys. All right. Okay, so it sounds nice, but let's do some effects and see how it sounds with effects, because right now it sounds super raw if we play some keys, right? It's maybe just a little bit loud. If it's not loud for you, do a little bit of less of drive, or remember you can do patch and adjust the patch gain just like that. For me, it's just really loud because I'm going through the preamps and they're just all the way, I don't want to say all the way up, but I'm using headphones, so I just have a different level. Maybe for you, it's just a little bit too quiet. All right. So I'm going to start with the effects madness, and I'm going to be doing a reverb, and I'm going to use the V2 because I want the big sound. So the big 2 is going to be big. Right here we have the mix, the time, the brightness. So we are going to be doing, or I'm going to be doing, at the end of the day, it's just completely up to you. I'm going to do a time of 90, and then we're going to go up on the mix and do around 40, and that should be enough. Told you, it sounds dull, but when you add effects, it just has a different vibe. Right? Now, it's super long. Remember that we can go to the filter and the amp and go down on the release. What else can we do? Well, let's do a ping pong since we are here. I'm going to be going to this and do a ping pong. And notice how easy. It's just super simple to do sounds with this. I'm gonna go maybe to 30s because it's the number I like, the magic number. Maybe you didn't catch the other videos I did with creating this, creating sounds with the Cobalt, and maybe you already know if you watched them that 30 is the magical number with this synthesizer. I'm gonna be doing the 1/8 but dotted, and I'm gonna go up on the feedback because right now we are doing nothing. And I'm going to be keeping it pretty long. Let's see what happens. Right. And if I do a chord, like it. Now, if it's too bright, go down on the filter. It's just going to be less bright. Or go down on the filter EG. It's going to be less bright. But again, it's completely up to you. I like the bright sound. Alright, so let's do a couple more things. What I would love to do, I would love to mess with the oscillator 1A, and I would love to mess with the sync. So right here on the 1A, on the oscillator 1A, is going to be the sync. And when we change that one, the sound of that oscillator is going to change. So I'm going to be using the mod EG to go up, really up, as soon as we play it. So I'm going to be going to the mod EG, and this is going to be really simple. The attack is going to be all the way to 0, the decay all the way to 0, and we are going to be doing some sustain. So I'm going to do something like this. It's going to be very sharp. And just like always, I'm going to go to the release, and it's going to be pretty long. If I want to give you the, the values, sustain 46, maybe we are going to be doing a little bit more. Something like 50s, right there. So release, a lot more, just like the other ones. I'm going to do something like 80s, and the depth is going to be all the way up. Now we need to map it to the 1A. So you can see it, I just moved the camera a little bit because the oscillator is just right there. I'm going to be tapping this so we can enter the assign mode, and then I'm going to be moving this, and we are going to be modulating the oscillator A really fast and really quick. And let's see how it sounds. If we don't like it, we can just get rid of this. It's okay, it's pretty similar because we're super fast. There's a tiny little change right there. I'm going to keep it. And if you want to remove it, you can. It's completely up to you. All right. Nice. So what else can we do? Well, let's just add an LFO. So I'm going to be adding an LFO, maybe which one I'm going to use? I'm going to use the number 1 to this one, and this one is the fine of the RM, right, of the oscillator number 2. So I'm just going to be moving this. We're going to do something, going to go less, something around 22, because on this one, we are all the way up. So we're going to go less when we hit the LFO. So yeah, I guess 20, maybe a little bit less. If not, it's going to be a little bit aggressive. I guess there's fine. Now, if we play it, we have a little bit of movement, right? Just a little bit. Right? That is fine. Now, what I want to do the other thing, which is going to be the usual one. I'm going to go to the mod slots, the default ones. And I'm going to be doing node to cutoff because this is some keys. We are creating some keys. That's why maybe just going darker is a little bit better. Now, if I play higher keys, it's just brighter. Lower keys just goes a little bit less. Now, the other option right here in the mod slots, right there, this one, the velocity is going to be important because if we play soft, it's just going to be a little bit softer. If we play hard, it's going to be a little bit harder. So I'm going to keep it around 50. Now, if I play really soft, it's going to be soft, but if I play hard, and I think the patch is done. Okay, so let's just build this second patch, and this one is going to be a pad. Now, always start from the initial patch, and we're going to take care of the, the oscillators and filters, and then we're going to do a lot of modulations. And meanwhile, I'm just going to drink a mate. Maybe you don't know what it is, and it's not weed. Before you ask, it's not weed. So let's take care of the oscillators. Right, so I'm going to go to the mix all the way to the left. And right here, we need to find one. And I'm going to use the PWM tree for triangle and then pinch. So let me find it. There we go. PWM try pinch. It looks like 2 mountains, 2 eyes, or maybe 2 Madonnas. Let's say if you were born in the 90s. Okay, so we're going to do that. I'm going to use this one. So this one's going to be the width. This one's going to be the asymmetry. So I'm going to be changing the width. I'm going to make them not equal. Maybe right there, around the 70s. Now, the asymmetry is going to change how symmetrical they are. That's why it's called asymmetry. So it starts as soon as I start moving it. Notice that one is short and the other one is wide. And if I play something, it's gonna sound like that. Now, it sounds too low, so I'm going to do shift, and I'm going to go up in the pitch. So maybe 12, 1 octave should be enough. Alright, so that's fine. Now I'm going to go get out. And remember that everything that we are doing, you can change it. If you don't like it, you can do whatever. Use other algorithm and just, change it. Right here, we are doing this to practice. Everything I'm doing is questionable. So, okay, so I'm going to go to the oscillator number 2. And on this one, you know what? I'm going to use something that we never used so far on the series, and this is the last video of the series. So I'm going to use the noise. So I'm going to go up on the cutoff because it's going to be a little bit too loud or maybe too bright. And I'm going to go up on this one, and notice that we are going to be getting it. Right, so I'm going to be doing around the 80s. Around there, 81, 83, 82. Right, so this is just noise. Now, if we don't cut it, notice that we get it, we get that. So I want to do not too much because I want the noise. Right, so I'm going to leave it right there. Now, obviously, we are not going to use this as a sound source. Most is going to happen right here, and I'm going to go there to show you how much we are doing in the mix. I'm going to do around 36. So we get the noise in the background, and most of the sound will come from this one. Right, so to do the drift, I'm going to be doing around, 20 of drift, something like that. Let's do patch and hold it and go to the mix and do vintage. I'm going to do 20 around there and shift, and we're going to do the width. And notice that I always do it like this. And it's nice to keep a workflow when you create a patch, always consistent. Go to the oscillators, do this, and just, go in order. Sometimes it's just a nice way to keep everything consistent. The noise is a little bit too noisy. We're gonna maybe fix it in a minute. Maybe we can modulate it, right? And go more to the oscillator 1 when we play it, right? With an envelope or something like that. And still, we need to do a lot of cutoff. So before going to the cutoff, I'm going to go to the filters, and we need to do some work right here. So the depth, I'm going to adjust it right now. I'm going to maybe do something like 20, 25, 23, 24, something like that. And I'm going to change the values from here so you can see how much I'm doing. The attack is going to be around something slow-ish, on the slowish side of things. So 47, I'm going to go to the decay. Now I'm going to go and do, 70 of decay, just going to be way up. And then the sustain is just going to go down a little bit. And I believe it's 125, 127 is way up. We're going to need to do a little bit less, like 100. And at this point, if I take a look, it's going to look something like this. Now, right now, it's just very linear, but there's a tiny curve in reality because we are using exponential as a curve. Now, I'm going to go back, and I want to check the release, and I want you to see how much I'm doing. I'm doing 60 something, 65. So if I play it, nothing is going to really happen right here, and we need to take care of the amp. And on the amp, I'm going to do something very similar. The depth is, of course, all the way up, and on the attack, I'm going to be doing around the same 40s. I'm going to go to the decay. It's going to be around the same 60s, 70s, and then the sustain around the same 90 something, and then the release is going to be almost the same. I'm going to do even a little bit more just in case. So 90 something, 97. Now let's take care of the filter because right now it's just going to be that when we play a chord, and I want that noise in the background, right? It's like the ocean. So I'm going to be doing a patch, and I want to use a ladder LP and then notch. So I'm going to find it first. There we go. So it's the ladder. Let me just show you. Ladder LP and then notch. If I move it, it's going to look like this. So when we play it, right. So how much are we doing from with the cutoff? Let me do it a little bit brighter, around the 53. Right, sounds fine. Let's do a little bit of resonance, play the wrong note there. I'm going to be doing something like, if I go up, and maybe it's too much, I'm going to do 17, 16. That's fine. And I'm gonna go up on the drive because I like the drive. It's a nice added feature of the version V2. Right, so I think it sounds fine. I will still need to do a lot of work to make it sound cold. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the mod AG and I want to move the oscillator 1A, which is gonna be the width. Now, we need to do something right here. And how much are we gonna do? Well, let's see, we're gonna do the depth all the way up on the mod AG right here. Now, I want to change everything else. So I'm gonna go right there to the attack and we are gonna do something similar that we are doing with the other envelopes, but, you know, maybe a little bit different as well. So I'm going to stay on the 20s. The decay is going to be around the 70 something. I'm going to go the sustain. I'm going to go way low on the sustain. And you know what? I can do it from here and then see how much we are doing right there. And this is one of the, I don't have a lot of complaints about the model, you know, the Cobalt. The fact that when we move it, we don't see the values. I would really love to see that right there on the screen. Maybe there is an option and I don't know about it. Maybe there is. I don't know. I checked, but I couldn't find it. So I would really love to see the values when we move the envelopes. So at the end of the day, it's all about sound. But, you know, sometimes it's really nice to see how much we are doing, especially when we work with time-based controls. It's nice to see how much of time you're doing. So it's, you know, something we need. So if Model is watching this, that is my only request. Right, so I'm going to be going to tap this one because we want to assign it to something. And I'm going to be using the oscillator 1A. And I'm going to be doing around 30s. And this is just going to add a little bit of movement. That's the only thing that this needs. Movement and effects, of course. Alright, so for me, that is fine. I'm going to leave it there. What else we can do? Well, we can do a mix to go between the one and the other one. We can do that because right now we are not doing a lot. So let's go to the LFO. So I'm going to go to the LFO. I'm going to the assign mode. And what I want to do, I want to move the mix. I want to modulate the mix. And I'm going to be doing it around 40 something and I'm going positive. So we are going from this one to a little bit of noise. And let's see how it sounds right now. Maybe that's too much. But that's fine. We can go down and we can go up in the rate. Now I'm going to go down in the intensity of the LFO to the 20s and the rate I'm going to go up. I want this super fast. I want to say super fast, but faster than now. Right now is way too slow for me. I'm going to go to the 80 something. There we go. Now, if you don't like the noise, because, you know, it is there, you can adjust the mix, and go more to this side. When it moves here is going to be lesser of effect. Right. So let's do a little bit of mod slots. I'm going to be going right here at the top. And then I'm going to go to notes to cutoff. I'm going to do something around 30s. Right? But remember that this is going to open the filter. We're going to get a lot of much more noise when we play higher keys. Right? So, okay. So you need to remember that. We can bring a little bit of aftertouch right there. And what else? We can do the velocity to amp. So it sounds fine. Let's see what happens if we throw a little bit of effects. Right, I'm going to go to the effects number 3. And this one is going to be, you guessed it, a reverb we want to pad. So I want something lush and big and long. So I'm going to do a reverb V2. And the time, I'm going to be going to the 80s right there. And right here, I'm going to go up in the mix. Well, let's see. You know, the reverb is just like giving us what we need. And this is the stock reverb. Imagine if you bring a reverb, like, you know, a super expensive reverb, or just a reverb that you like. Right. I'm gonna go to the other effects, and this one is gonna be the piece of resistance, which is gonna be the chorus V2, and this one is gonna just like give us width and just bring everything into pad sound. Right? I'm just making chords. The only thing I'm doing is just a major, minor, and then just a seventh. That's the only chords I'm playing right now. I'm doing everything super simple. I'm in a very awkward position right here, and it's just hard to play the keys. Now the dry and the wet is all the way up. You can change the mod of the chorus, but I believe that the defaults are fine for now. Now let's do a little bit more. Let's play with the XY controller. Alright, so I'm gonna go to Shift, and right now we're gonna do the XY. I'm gonna tap it, and we enter the assign mode. And I'm gonna be doing three things. I'm gonna be doing the mix, so we can go to the other side a little bit more. Oh, it's the voice glide. I don't want that one. I want the mix, oscillator mix. Right. So when we play it, we get more noise, less oscillator, more noise, less oscillator, more noise. That's fine. That's one thing. Now, that one is done, so I'm gonna get out. Now I'm gonna be doing another mod slot. I'm gonna, made a mistake, not the note. I want to do Shift, and then assign to the XY, the Y plus, I'm sorry. And let's do the oscillator 1, and let's do the pitch. Why not? It could sound cool. Now I'm gonna be detuning this. So as we go up, we detune the oscillator 1 pitch. So we are on shift mode. So this is gonna go up and down in pitch. Let me just show you the values. I'm gonna do something around the 20s, and then we will take it from there. Let's play it. Right, maybe it's way too much. I'm gonna do less. Then this is completely up to you. Let me just play something. Right, I kind of like it. Now I would love to move it back because right now it's just way in the front when we do the noise and the detuning. So maybe we can get out of the shift mode. We are done with this one, and what we can do the same, but go to the reverb and make the reverb just more prominent, right? Just go up in the mix of the reverb. Now you don't see it. I'm gonna stand on the effects number 3. Maybe you don't see. I'm pressing the button right now. Oh, made a mistake right there. All right, so I'm gonna stand on the reverb right there, so we can use and map something. I'm gonna do Shift. I'm gonna go right here. And we are mapping the Y plus, and I'm gonna get out of the shift because I want to modulate the A of the reverb. So I'm gonna be going up, and it says, Y plus and FXA. I'm gonna go up to a lot more. Maybe 64 is the let's go 64. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna be playing this, and as soon as we do, we go up. That's fine. It's a nice effect. And when I release the keys, it's gonna die like that. All right, that's fine. So I believe this is the final patch. Alright, so let's do the final patch of the series, and I'm going to be going to an init patch, and as always we will start with the oscillators. Okay, so on this one, on the oscillator number A, we will go all the way to the 1. I'm going to use the fault tree or try, whatever you want to call it. Let me find it. There we go. Is the chaos and then the fault try. Now on this one is going to be the fault. This one is going to be the DC offset. So in the fault, I want to fold it. And I'm going to be doing it around, maybe around there. Yeah, around 40, it's fine. 40 is fine. Now, this one is going to be the DC offset. Notice that the peaks are going to be starting to, you know, to be a little bit different. So, I'm going to like it right around there. 108. Now, what we are going to do right now is some keys, but we could use them as pads if you wanted to. And everything, you could use it as keys or pads. You just adjust the envelopes and you add more effects. It depends on the patch. Sometimes you want to do a pad that has a lot of things, a lot of movement. Well, then no. But in this case, when you have some keys, you just add some effects, make the adjust the envelopes. And there you go. Now let's go to the oscillator number 2, the other one. And on this one, I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to use the same algorithm, but we're going to be changing some of the rules. So let me just find it again. All right, so there we go. It's fault tree or try. Now remember, again, fault and then DC offset. And I'm going to be doing the same thing, and I'm going to fold it, but I'm going to fold it more. Let's go to 80 something, 87, 86. That's fine, and let's do the DC offset around a little bit less, 70 something, around there. Now, if we take the blend, you know what? I'm going to be doing a little bit of shifting the pitch, you know, right here. It's too much. I'm going to be doing around 7. Now, if we go back in the mix right here and we blend them, it's going to sound like that. Now, I'm going to be standing almost around the center. Yeah, you know what? Maybe a little bit less. There we go. Now, let's do drift. I'm going to go up into drift. I'm going to be doing something around 30s, something around there. I'm going to do the vintage, holding the patch and do the vintage. So it's going to be 30 or 110. You know, these are pads and keys, so I want to make them really wide. So I'm going to go to the width, which is something I don't like to do usually, but I guess on this patch is going to, you know, do the trick. Because if we keep it really in the center, you know, both speakers left and right are doing the same and the voices are not moving, it's going to be very mono. I want to make it super wide. And this is especially for chords. So I want to make chords. Notice that the voices are just moving on different, every time we play a key, right? But I'm playing chords. If I play a single key, it's going to move from left to right every time I play it, which may be not a good thing. Depends on what you're doing. So I'm going to get out of the shift and I'm going to go right there at the top. And what I want to use, I want to go to the oscillators and I want to make them free run. So free run and then on. Right, so I'm going to go to the filter and I'm going to use a 24 dB per octave ladder. There we go, ladder, 24 dB per octave. I'm going to do some cutting. I'm going to do some driving around 70 something. And at this point, you know, since this is like the version number 4 of this series, you should know how to move around the synthesizer super well. Maybe if you're watching this, and this is the first time that you watch this series, watch the other ones. On the other ones, we do simpler things and, you know, we do some other complex stuff. But I do a lot more explaining. Right now, since this one is the number 4, I'm just going a little bit faster. So, okay, so that's the amount of cutoff. I'm doing drive 75, resonance 13, and the cutoff is around 72. Yeah, let's do something 78, 77. Right. Now I'm going to be changing the scaling just to see how it sounds with the scaling legacy. It's going to be a little bit darker. That's fine. I'm going to keep it, but now we're going to fix it with the envelopes. Right, so right now we are going to be I'm going to start with the amp. Why not? So we need to do, depth is all the way up, right? All the way up. And right here, I want a release. I want a lot of release. I'm going to show you how much release I'm doing. Let me just go right there. So we are doing 74. Well, yeah, I want around there. 75, 76, something around there. The sustain is going to be all the way up. Decay, we don't care. The attack is going to be a little bit more, like 5, because I want to use this as keys and pads. So again, it's just a very thin line between keys and pads. So that's going to sound. We have a release when I play a key, and it sounds super dark because we need to do right now this one. So just doing depth is going to help. I'm going to be doing something around 8. I want this not to be super bright, but then we can adjust it if you wanted to. I'm going to keep it there. Now, in terms of the envelope, I'm not going to do much. I'm going to keep it the way it is. The attack all the way to 0, decay all the way to 0, sustain all the way up. And I do want a little bit of release, and it's going to be a lot less than this. Maybe around there. So right now, it doesn't sound that good. Let's do something else to make it sound a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to go to the mod slots, the default ones. So around 20, it's fine. That is, if you go super high, it's going to be a lot brighter. So 25, I believe it's fine, even less. Because I want this more on the dark side. So 16. So now it's brighter than the other version, right? Right. So let me go right here and modify the velocity. This one I'm going to do around 20s, something around there. Okay, so that's fine. Now let's make it better. We can go to the effects and then we can go to the modulations. You know what? I'm going to go to the modulation first, and then we're going to take it to the effects. I'm going to do the LFO1, and the LFO1, I want to modulate the oscillator 1A. And remember, it's the 1A is going to be the default, and the other one is going to be the DC offset. So this one is the 1A. I'm going to go up, and it's going to say LFO1, 1A, and then up, and until we get to, I don't know, 60. Let's see how it sounds. I'm going to sustain it, so we can hear the movement, and it's pretty noticeable. Now, I'm going to go the depth all the way up. Well, I need to go out of the assign mode. I'm going to go depth all the way up, but right now I'm going to go down and I'm going to do it 1 bar. There we go, 1 bar. So it's pretty slow. Now the effects will just merge, make everything merge. Right now it sounds a little bit weird. If this is too aggressive, we just can, bring it down a little bit in a minute. Now, I'm going to be going to the LFO number 2, and I want to do maybe the global pitch. So we are on the LFO number 2, but I want to change it to the global pitch, which is all the way at the end, global pitch. And I'm going to tap to accept the changes. And how much are we doing? On this one, let's just see depth 2. I believe this is fine. 1 and 2 is fine. I'm going to leave it on 1 right now. So, if you leave it in 1, if you go up, it's going to be like that. So 1, 2 is fine because I'm going to leave the LFO number 2 on default. The depth is going to be default. So let's just mess with the LFO number 2. I'm going to go down on the depth because it's still going to be too aggressive. I'm going to be doing around there, 48 is fine. Now, it's too slow for me. I'm going to do the rate of 50 something. And maybe a little bit more depth. There we go. Right, it's fine. Everything is going to sound better with effects. Now, I'm going to make some changes to the LFO, and mostly, the LFO 2. I'm going to make it, instead of retrigger, I'm going to make it free run. Right. So we are done there. Now, what else can we do? All right, so let's just go weird. I'm going to do shift and go to the LFO number 3. and I enter the assign mode of the LFO number 3, and then I'm going to be messing with the oscillator 2 and A. Remember, it's just the same property, right? But now I'm going to be doing it with a different LFO. So I need to get out of the shift if I want to mess with that property. And there we go, LFO 3, oscillator 2A. And I'm going to be doing something around the same with it on the other one, which is around 50 something. And this is just going to go crazy. But I don't want something like this. I'm going to be changing the properties of the LFO number 3. I'm going to be going to, oh, I'm in LFO number 2. There we go. Let me just get out. There we go. So I'm going to do shift. I'm going to enter the LFO number 3. And I want to change this to do a free run, but I want to do it at random. All right, so let's just see what happens. We are in shift, so the LFO shape is going to change if we move it. And instead of using this random, I'm going to use this random because it's a little bit more smoother. I'm going to change the mode to free running. There we go. I'm going to get out of the shift, and then I will go to the rate. And you know what? I'm going to go really fast and see what happens. And the depth, I'm going to go down because it's just going to be way too aggressive. So I'm going to do something. And we can hear the movement of the... Oh, I pressed the wrong note. And I want something like this. You know, something on the dark side of things, but, you know, that moves all over the place. Like the camera just moved. All right. So... right now, it's just maybe too aggressive. Let's see if we can make it better with the effects. So I'm going to go to the effects, the number 3, and I'm going to do a ping pong delay. And we're going to do this real quick, and then we're going to adjust the LFOs because I think that they are just way too aggressive. So maybe on the 40 something, you know, already sounds better. So I'm going to be going to 1.8 and dot it. And I'm going to be adding some feedback right here to the mix. And we are going to make it really long. Maybe the width it's too much. That's fine. So, you know, this is how you create patches. First, you throw things, you do things, and then you just figure it out. I'm going to go right here, and this one is going to be a reverb. Now, the reverb, not the V2, the V1, is kind of on the mono side, but still, this is going to make you know, just merge everything. I'm going to go to the 30s, and the time, I'm going to go up because I want this to be long. Remember, we are creating some paths in reality, so. Now we can hear the random, right? All right. Now, I feel, and this is my appreciation, that maybe the attack is just too fast. We can make it slow, slow ramp. So I'm going to go to the next one, and this one, I'm going to make it the lo-fi. So right there, just bring the lo-fi. There we go. And this one, I'm going to be doing the redux amount. We don't need to do a lot. I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm going to go down on this one, maybe 87. Let's see how it sounds. And I want to crush it. All right. That's fine. Now this one has a noise. Right here is this going to be the B. I'm going to bring the noise. Let's just have fun with this. All right. So I feel that's fine. Now I'm going to be adjusting this one. I'm going to go up on the attack. Let's make it slow, same as the amp. Now I feel like the effects number 1 is bringing some noise that I don't want. Is this the redux? And in part the beat crush. Right. Much better, right? Again, we use just pads. Some sounds that might be useful. Now I feel like, again, the width is just a little bit too much. So I'm going to be adjusted to 80s. Oh, it's much better. I feel it's just much better. Yeah, I feel like it feels much better, right? Than the other version. Now the LFOs are not too aggressive, right? You're just washing them out. If that is even an expression. Now still, we can just go down and remember that you can go to the mod slots, and right here at the top, you have all the mod slots. We are doing LFO on the oscillator 1A and the pitch of the LFO 2. We can go right there and just, get it down. We are doing a depth of 2. Let's go and do a depth of 1. Let's go to the other one. It's going to be the oscillator. We are doing 54. Let's do 40s. 44. It's going to be less. A little bit more normal. I feel it's just a little bit too quiet, so I'm going to go up in there. And I'm going to hold the patch and just go up in volume. The patch gain, right? You're going to throw a 40 right there. Okay, so what else? So back to the mod slots. We don't have a lot. We have just LFOs right here. Why don't we do an X plus and add something? So I'm going to be doing shift. I'm going to be doing not that one. Let me just get out of there. We are still in shift. I'm going to do the Y plus, and we are going to be modulating the cutoff just a little bit up when we go up right here. Like that, right? So that is done. I'm going to get out of the shift and just get out of this. Now we can use the effects as, to go up. Maybe on the ping pong delay, we can go up on the feedback. And this is going to be the parameter C of the delay. So let's just do that. I'm going to go directly here to the mod slots and do it from here. So it's going to be mod slot. The 5, it's empty. I'm going to go there. And the source, remember, it's going to be the Y plus. I'm going to accept. And then this one is going to be, what are we going to do on this one? The source is going to be the effects. Yeah, let me just get to it. We have a lot of params, so we need to go through them. So it's going to be the FX number 3, which is the delay. So the A is going to be the mix. This is the B is going to be the time. The C is going to be the feedback. What if we go up in feedback, right? I'm going to be selecting that one. That one, yeah, the C is already assigned, of course. So let's see how much. So if I go up, I'm going to go really aggressive and see what happens. I'm going to play something. Now the plan is to release the keys and have the feedback do its job. All right. What else can we do? So let's just have fun with this. Since this is the last patch I'm going to create for the Cobalt, let's do the source. We are going to be doing the Y plus, and the destination is going to be, we could use one of the effects. How about we do the bit crush, right? Do we just to modulate something else? So the bit crush is going to be the effects number 1, right? And the bit crush is going to be the property number C, or letter number C. So I'm going to accept that. And the depth is going to be, I don't know, let's go aggressive and see how bad it sounds. It's not that bad, but I'm just going to go down. Maybe there. Right. It's fine. Let's do one more, and let's make it the reverb just more wet. So we go to the next mod slots, and it's pretty much the last one. I'm gonna go there. It's gonna be the Y controller, and that is how much you can do with the Y and the YX controllers. So the destination is going to be the reverb, and that's the effects number 2, if I remember correctly. So effects number 2. And the dry and the wet is going to be the A. So let's see how this sounds. I'm going to go again here. I'm going to go up, all the way up in the depth. and then we're gonna take it from there. It's not giving me what I want. It's just not giving me what I want. So, you know what? I'm going to be changing this. And I'm doing this on the go. You know, let's change it to the dry and the wet of the ping pong delay. Yeah, why not? So the 3 and the A is the ping pong, dry and wet. So I'm going to select that one. And the depth, I'm going to go really aggressive and see what happens. And I'm going to release it. As we go down, we decay to silence. I like it much more. Maybe it's just too aggressive. I'm gonna leave it around there. Right, so that's the final patch, I guess. I'm gonna save it just in case. I'm gonna be playing to 7th. And then at some point, we hit the XY. And we can even use it to do that tiny little effects. Right. Alright, so that's it. This was the last patch of this series. So hopefully you just liked all of this and learned something, you know, got something really useful out of these series of videos. And remember to like and subscribe. And if you have the money and you just want to say thanks, you can buy me a coffee, right? Go to the links at the description. You have Patreon, you have PayPal, and you have YouTube. Thanks. So see you on the next one.